clarity of tone. During this lesson, we're going to be learning more about what causes unwanted breathy tone, and I'm going to show you some techniques that will help you produce a clearer sound. So remember back in lesson 4 how we talked about phonation during the 4 processes of sound production and how the sound is actually produced? Well, in this lesson, we're going to be looking more deeply at chord positioning in relation to singing with more clarity. For instance, if you find that your tone is breathy or airy when you sing, you're probably finding that you also run out of air very quickly, right? Or maybe you're finding that you just can't get your voice to project. Some of the reasons for this are, number 1, insufficient chord closure. This means that the vocal cords are not coming together or adducting properly, therefore letting a thin stream or a thin continuous stream of air flow past the vocal cords. Number 2, overblowing. This can be caused by the same problem as the one that causes the strain in your voice, either too little or too much air, both causing the vocal cords to stay open, letting a thin stream of air to continuously escape. Number 3, lack of resonance. Breathy tone is also caused by the tone not resonating in the cavities of your chest, your pharynx and your head properly, which we talked about in lesson 5. Or it can simply be the case that you're releasing too much air all at once, which we covered in lesson 3 on breath when we talked about rib suspension, etc. Number 4, incorrect posture. Sometimes an incorrect head and neck alignment can make singing difficult and can result in a breathy sound due to compensating muscle involvement. It's important, as we know, to constantly check in on your posture to make sure you're positioning your body in a way that supports your singing rather than hindering it. Number 5, general fatigue. Many singers find that when they're physically tired from inadequate rest or sleep, it can be really difficult to find the energy they need to support their voices and coordinate their bodies well enough to produce a clear tone. It's really important to understand that your lifestyle directly affects the quality of your singing voice. So try to maintain a good balance between diet, exercise and rest. You'll find many suggestions and much advice on this topic in the Vocal Health, Diet and Lifestyle booklet, which you'll find in the documents file or on the documents CD. Number 6, dehydration. Dehydration of your vocal cords can temporarily cause breathy tone because the vocal cords don't function properly when they lack sufficient moisture for lubrication. So drinking water is the most valuable support you can offer your voice. Keeping your body hydrated means that it has the resources to produce the lubrication that your vocal cords need in order to maintain proper function. I've also included a little vocal health chart in the documents file for this program, so you can print that off and stick it on your wall somewhere and get to know the things that help your voice stay healthy and strong and those things that don't. Okay, so we've talked about some of the reasons you could be experiencing breathy tone. However, to rough you in on the sensation you should be looking for when attempting to produce a clear sound, try this simple exercise with me first. But firstly, I just want to point out that this particular exercise is not on your practice CD. It's really just a rough you in exercise. Okay, what I want you to do is make a sound like this. Ah-ha. Ah-ha. Now when you make this sound, we're only speaking, right? Don't try to sing the sound, just speak it with ease. Ready? Ah-ha. And again. Ah-ha. Now what can you feel as you're making this sound? Can you feel the contracting and releasing sensation in the middle of your throat? On the ah sound, you can feel the contraction, and on the h sound, you'll notice a releasing sensation occurring. Again, when you return to the ah sound, you'll feel a contracting sensation again. Let's do this again together. Ready? Ah-ha. aha. Okay, so that contracting feeling is the sensation of your chords coming together. The releasing sensation when you say the is the chords relaxing and moving apart. This is a result of the cartilages at the back of the vocal apparatus called the arytenoids relaxing or letting go. We're going to go much further into this topic and look at various different exercises and strategies that will not only help give you clarity of tone, but also vocal stamina. As we do, you'll learn a lot more about how to take control over the quality of tone you produce when you're singing. Okay, this next exercise is one that's great for helping you to access your head register, but it's also a fabulous exercise for singing with a clear tone in your middle and upper registers. Woohoo! Sorry, got a bit ahead of myself there. Right, I want you to do a little experiment here with me. I'm going to sing a few notes, and please, if they're too high for you, choose any other note that sits in your upper, middle, or head voice range. If you don't know which notes sit in that area of your vocal range, just say, woohoo, and you'll be there. So what I want you to do, what I want you to sing are the following notes with me, and just take notice of the quality of tone you're producing. Here are the notes. La, la, la. So we'll sing a couple of these little phrases and then we'll move up slightly higher, all the while focusing on the quality of your vocal tone. Ready? Breathe low and la, la, la. And again, la, la, la. Now moving higher. Breathe low and la, 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 la. And again, la, la, la. And up one more. La, la. And breathe low. La, la, la. And again. La, la, la. Okay, so did you notice that your voice was breathy or weak? Did you run out of air fairly quickly on each of those phrases? If so, you're most likely doing something different as you're singing than what you do when you're speaking. So let's check that out by going through exercise 2 for this session, the woohoo exercise. Again, this is a very simple exercise and one that you will probably already know quite well. Okay, to get a sense of what it feels like to sing with clear tone in your middle and head registers, start by giving me a big woohoo! Do I hear it? Yeah. Woohoo! Ah, come on, surely you can do better than that. Come on, let's hear it again. Woohoo! That's better. Now draw it out a little. Woohoo! And again. Woohoo! So how was that? Did you notice a difference in the quality of the tone when you were saying the woohoo to the quality you heard when you were singing la la la? It's often the case that when we sing, we try too hard. We get caught up in the idea that singing is difficult when really it's very similar to speaking, which is something we do every day and have had a lot of practice at. In some cases, for instance, in the experiment we just did, the issue of breathy tone is often more a matter of psychology than biology, i.e. it's often more a mental issue than a physical one. So let's go through the exercise again, this time with a bit of piano accompaniment. Okay, here we go with exercise 2, woohoo! Remember to just relax and say the woohoo sound as you do when you're excited about something. We're not trying to sing here or make gorgeous sounds, we're just making a clear sound, and it doesn't matter at all whether it sounds like singing or not, okay? Here we go. Woohoo! 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 mentioned in the introduction to this lesson, one of the reasons a singer experiences breathy tone is because the vocal cords are not adducting or coming together properly, which leads to extra air escaping through the open vocal cords and results in a wispy, weak or breathy tone. So in this exercise, we're going to be using specific consonants that help to bring the cords together, and we're going to follow those consonants with some narrow vowels so that we're also practicing singing open sounds as we do when we're singing a song. Right, so let's just begin by saying a nice sharp B sound. When you say this consonant with me, close your eyes and take notice of the sensations in your throat area. Ready? And beep, beep, bee. And again, beep, beep, bee. And one more, beep, beep, bee. Notice how you can feel a gentle tension or pressure arise in your throat. Now this is gentle pressure that you want to be feeling as opposed to strain or uncomfortable tension. This feeling of pressure is the result of your vocal cords coming together in preparation for making a sound, such as the B sound we just made. Okay, so let's try the same thing with the V for Victor, V consonant, like this. V, V, V. V, V, V. Remember to close your eyes so that you can more easily place your attention on what's going on inside your body, particularly your throat area. Ready? And V, V, V. And again, V, V, V. And one more, V, V, V. Right, so they're the two consonants we're going to be using in this next exercise. So let's try them out, shall we? Alright, here's exercise 2, beep, beep, bee. So during the demonstration, I'm going to use both the B and V consonants, and I'm just going to alternate them. However, when you do this by yourself with the audio exercises, sing it all the way through, just using B, for example, and then repeat it using the V consonant. Remember, as you sing this exercise, to maintain the correct posture and breathing techniques we've covered so far. Also remember not to force the tone or place too much weight on the B sound, as this can lead to tension and strain and vocal fatigue. Place your attention on simply making a sound rather than singing the exercise and relax into it with me. Okay, here we go. Beep, 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 beep. 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 This next exercise is very similar to the last one we did in that we're using a consonant, in this case the H sound, H, followed by the E sound, which will then draw the chords together. In other words, the H sound holds your chords open, whilst the E sound is bringing them together and encouraging resonance in the front of the face as opposed to the back of the throat where the H sits. To assist us with making a clear E sound, we're also going to incorporate some of the abdominal work we did in the lesson on breath. So remember how we practiced using our abdominal muscles in the S exercise to create dynamics or louds and softs when we sing? So in this exercise, we're going to do the same sort of thing, but without the intention of creating different dynamic levels. Instead, we're going to engage the muscles in our abdomen to create an effect called staccato on the notes that we're singing. Staccato notes are short and detached from one another, like this. He, he, he. Rather than legato singing, which is when the notes are joined together, like this. He, he, he. So not only are we working our abdominal muscles, we're also practicing clarity of tone throughout more of our vocal range. In addition, this exercise will help you to work on your pitch because it requires you to jump up and down to notes like this, he, rather than singing them in stepping motion like this, he. Okay? So as you sing through this exercise, it's important not to let too much breath out on the H sound at the beginning of each note. Not only can this waste a lot of breath, but it can also lead to vocal fatigue. So just little H's will do. Right, hold on to your hat while we sing this through together. Here's a few things to remember when you're singing this exercise. Apart from posture and breath, of course, sing gently. There's no need to make a big sound. Don't let too much breath out on the H sound. And each time you say the H sound, engage your abdominal muscles, as this will give you the extra support and attack needed to bring your vocal cords together. And it'll also give you added energy to jump up and down to the notes in this exercise. And lastly, keep the notes staccato, short and detached. Okay, here we go with exercise 3. Drop a little at the top. Don't forget to breathe low. Use those muscles. Another reason that singers can encounter breathy tone is through lack of breath control, especially when they're singing descending phrases. For example, our body is accustomed to relaxing towards the end of a spoken phrase, such as, "And now I'm finished speaking." Notice how the inflection or pitch of my voice goes downwards, and when it does, my body also relaxes. Try it with me now and take notice of how your body relaxes towards the end of the sentence. Ready? And now I'm finished speaking. And again. And now I'm finished speaking. So as your body relaxes, your physical energy also drops. In addition, your body naturally lets out the air remaining in your lungs in preparation for your next sentence. However, a phrase or sentence that moves downwards in pitch when you're singing doesn't necessarily mean that you've reached the end of that phrase. In many cases, you'll either move back up in pitch or continue to sing for a few seconds longer. This means that we need to keep the air in our lungs so that we can continue to sing for as long as the phrase requires. And so, we return again to our breath control technique, where we focus on keeping the ribs suspended right through to the end of the phrase, and we also place our focus on keeping our energy up, rather than relaxing our mind and body. This will alert the mind and body to the fact that we're not yet finished singing. Okay, we're going to sing the notes in this exercise legato, which means smooth and connected, as opposed to staccato, which, as you know, is short and detached. Firstly, we're going to be singing a simple triad like this. V, V, V. So be sure to engage your abdominal muscles on each of those notes like this. V, V, V. Okay, then we're going to step back down to our starting note like this. V, 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 V. Now as you step downwards in pitch, keep your energy up and your ribs suspended. You'll also need to keep your upper abdominal muscles switched on rather than letting everything fall in a heap. So rather than letting everything relax as you descend like this, V, 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 V. We want to keep everything buoyant, switched on and energized like this. V, 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 V. Okay, ready to do this with me? Let's go. V, 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 V. 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 Doesn't have to be beautiful. V, 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 V. Switch on. Switch. V, 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 V. And hold it on all the way to the end. V, 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 V. 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 So that brings us to a close on Lesson 6, Clarity of Tone. Some of the concepts like energy, for example, will be covered more extensively in the range extension lesson. For now, with regard to energy, try to maintain a sense of excitement when you're singing, almost as though you're singing about something that's so fun and so incredible that you can hardly contain yourself. This will not only help to keep your body buoyant, but it will also add a little spark to the sound that you produce. If you find that you do encounter breathy tone when you sing in any area of your vocal range, please keep studying this lesson. In fact, implement the concepts and techniques that I've laid out in this lesson into everything that you sing, whether it be exercises or songs. And remember, nailing these techniques doesn't occur by simply going through the lesson just once. Repetition is the key. In order to build strength in a certain area of vocal technique, you need to exercise those muscles on a regular and consistent basis. So make sure you keep practicing. Okay, when you're ready, let's move on to Lesson 7. This is Rae Henry and happy singing.